Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa, and in this video, I'm going to share some of my all-time favorite drugstore products. If you're new here, welcome. On my channel, I do a lot of health, beauty, lifestyle, you name it, specifically more for the more mature skinned woman. So I am 54 years old, almost 55, and I just have a collection of some of my favorite drugstore products. So I thought I'd review with you and share with you today. Also, a little bit about me, aside from my age being 54, my skin type is quite oily still, even at age 54, especially through the T-zone. Unlike other videos where I have applied the makeup during the video, I'm just going to share with you today. So I already have the makeup on. So let's dive right in. My first, I'm gonna go reverse actually. And I'm gonna start with some products from Covergirl. And specifically with Covergirl, the thing I like most are, I have a few different products, but if you've watched any of my makeup videos, you will see me using these stick concealers, and I so hope that Covergirl, you never get rid of these because I use them all the time. If you have ever watched Morgan Schick, I think is her name, on Instagram or TikTok or wherever, she may even have YouTube, I don't know, but Morgan really got me onto this whole idea of more cream-based, pure pigment type of makeup, especially as you get older. I was a little doubtful only because of how oily my skin can be, but I have found that it really does, I think, look better than mostly powder products. Now, obviously, I still use a lot of powder products, but I will use a lot of cream-based products. And I don't typically wear just foundation all over my face anymore. So that's where these come into play because they have different shades. If you would only get one, I highly recommend the Neutralizer shade. It just blends nicely. I have at least two of these because I'm so worried they're gonna go out of stock. And then depending on my skin tone, I have medium right now, summertime. I also have a light shade, but you can just spot conceal, blend. You can just tap in so lightly with your fingers, or with a blending brush, it works well if you want to do not a whole face of foundation, but cover and conceal. I don't know that I necessarily recommend these for under the eye though. You might use a separate, maybe creamier consistency for under the eye. So aside from concealers from Covergirl, a couple of other products I really like. They have a blurring serum, which is a newer product to me. Which it's in their Simply Ageless skin line, just kind of a nice first step before you put any other makeup on. But the thing I really like from them, and I've used this under other powder foundations, is the Covergirl Outlast All Day Primer. This is kind of a game changer if you like to use mineral powder foundation. I have videos on that, so if I remember, I will include them somewhere here. But this will help that powder foundation like Bare Minerals or Laura Geller, any of those products, just adhere better, especially if you have skin like mine, which tends to be oily. I found that this was a much better under the powder than for example, the Bare Minerals primer specifically, because that primer is more that silicone-y, right? That stuff that gets real slippery. Now the Laura Geller primer is that spackle. It may have a little bit more grip, but I have really, really enjoyed this one. And so sticking with Covergirl, also a great powder is also in the Simply Ageless. This is Instant Wrinkle Blurring Pressed Powder. You can see I've hit the pan there on that. So, you can combine these two items for a very nice soft finish that doesn't look too cakey or anything. I found I really, really like this. And a little honorable mention with Covergirl, if you're really going for a very simple, quick eye look, they're single palettes. I think they make multiple color palettes too, but this one is just a eye enhancer. I maybe even gotten this at the dollar store. It's just a kind of a nice shimmery brown color. Great for an all over eye look. So Covergirl has a lot of great products. Specifically, I feel like their concealer, powder, and primer or first step serums. All right, next up, we are going to mention probably one of my favorite lines, which is Wet n Wild. I've talked about them before. I just did a video featuring Wet n Wild makeup products. I think my all-time favorite things from Wet n Wild, see if you can guess, it's lip products. If you're like me, grew up in the 80s, and you can't let go of the frosty lip, Wet n Wild has you covered. So their lipsticks, like for today, the lip I have on today is not Wet n Wild, not the base. The base is like a brighter color. It's actually a Burt's Bees lipstick. But it was like, I wanted the tone. It was like Sunset Cruise, I think, by Burt's Bees, which is a bright, like poppy, corally red kind of color. But I wanted that, but just brought down a little bit. You know, do you ever do that? I wear 2 lip colors, sometimes 3 often. And so what I do is they have one of my favorite shades that I put on top of things. That's what I have on today, the Burt's Bees, and I topped it with this one from Wet n Wild, which is called Breeze, which is just a great, soft, just kind of tones down a brighter lipstick. You still let that undertone come through, just brings it down a little bit, and it feels so nice on. So that, I mean, I love Breeze, the shade specifically Breeze for that, but they make other colors that I love. Probably my all-time favorite, it was this one, is Sunset Peach by Wet n Wild. Just great for my coloring. I wear it all the time, but I have obviously many here. So they make, you know, Dark Pink Frost, the Java, which is a kind of a warmer brown shade, which I really like that. And then, of course, to top off the lip, I love their lip glosses. So again, I have one on today, which is, I think it's called like Berry something. No, oh, where's the color on here? Pink Champagne Please. But these are kind of do the same thing as the Breeze. It can elevate a lip color there, give it that nice sheen, kind of a frosty, I don't want to say metallic, but you know what I mean. So Wet n Wild lip. Okay, I have 2 more Wet n Wild items. I mean, they have tons of great products. They have a stick foundation I like. I know a lot of people really like actually Wet n Wild foundations. So if you wear foundation frequently, they're a great choice. Another Wet n Wild product I mentioned in other videos is their their Shadow Silk Liquid Eyeshadow. This one, the color is Bronze Digger. I've used this in other videos. This is probably my favorite liquid eyeshadow, more so than higher end. It blends so nicely. This is so nice for an all over one shade eye color. It blends so nicely. Sometimes with liquid eyeshadows, you put them on and it's almost like they're stuck there pretty quick and you can't blend it out. I don't have that with this, and it's such a nice color. I really, really like this. I like their formula, and I in particular like this shade. And then the last thing with Wet n Wild, a powder that is new to me. Again, their whole line of like foundations and powders, especially this Photofocus line, have really great reviews. But I just discovered this pink loose setting powder, and it's called Soft Pink. And it is, I mean, when you look at it, it is pink. But I have it on today. So like, obviously I don't think my face looks pink, but it's a very, very nice setting powder. I think it just kind of gives a nice glow, but their powders are very, very nice. I don't think you can go wrong with Wet n Wild powders. Okay, this next one is no secret. I think everybody likes it. The Physicians Formula Brown Butter Bronzer. This one's the Contour Palette, which is really nice. It has the darker bronzer, a lighter one, and then I guess that's a highlighter shade. I don't know, but it's kind of a matte formula for the highlighter. So if you don't want the shimmery, that's a good option. They go on so velvety smooth, really, really nice. I discovered by accident, I think I use this maybe more than this. And this is Physicians Formula. It's a bronze booster, and it's glow boosting, airbrushing, bronzing veil. And the shade is medium to dark. So it's just this by itself. It comes with a little brush and mirror down below, but it's just a singular color, so you can see the difference. I think I find that I'm using this one more because look at the difference. It's almost like This shade is a somewhere between this one and this one, you know? And this one just has that slightest hint of a sheen to it. And I've just gotten used to using it. Sometimes I'll put like more of a contour shade on and then top this as the bronzer. Sometimes even if I'm really in a rush or just not feeling like doing anything else, I'll use this on my eyes. You can do the same with this. I know Lisa D1 swears by this and uses this for her face, her eyes, everything. Both really nice though. Probably the best bronzer out there at the drugstore. Okay, last but certainly not least, a very highly rated powder, Maybelline Fit Me. They make a great powder. You can get it in the loose variety. This is the pressed powder. It's the Fit Me Matte and Poreless is the one I got, and translucent. Hit the pan there too. You know, these powders are great. I try to use, as I've gotten older, I try to use minimum powder. So I will just like tap it or press it lightly through the T-zone, and then let it sit for a second, and then maybe like dust off any excess so I don't have a bunch of powder sitting on my face. But a great powder, especially for mature skin. Okay, well that's it for my very quick review of some of my favorite drugstore products. I mean, there's tons out there. I love drugstore makeup, and in fact, I'm sure you do too. So if there's any favorites you have, specifically that are great for mature skin, please share them in the comments so we can take a look and learn from each other and maybe discover a new favorite product. So if you liked this video, please stick around, check out some of the other videos while you're here that are on my channel. And if you feel like it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.